Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And for some reason, we're going to talk about Captain Marvel.
Yeah, no, but it's interesting though. I was shocked to see this come from CBR. The MCU hasn't shown Captain Marvel's weakness yet, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, so let's talk about this because I am seeing a trend. In the last year or so, a lot of these media outlets that went to war with fandoms, basically use their platform to espouse their political beliefs, stand for corporations like Disney. They are turning, and I think they are turning because they realize they're completely outnumbered. If you look at the number of publications that have shut down over the last year or so, it's pretty shocking, and CBR is probably like, yeah, you know what, we really can't afford to antagonize fans for clickbait, because what's happening is they're turning around, they're just not coming to our websites anymore.
It's funny because a lot of the drama, a lot of the fan division, a lot of that stuff can be tied back, besides poor choices from the Hollywood side, to the media who deliberately pit people against each other. So it's interesting to see this headline for this article, which a couple of years ago would have got you labeled all kinds of names. Yeah. Now, not saying that the article is incorrect when you see it, but I'm just saying the same opinion just a few years ago would have been, how dare you?
If you criticize Captain Marvel at all as a movie, if it wasn't like the bestest thing ever, you were called alt-right, you were called Nazi, you were called a misogynist, a bigot. Same with Star Wars, same with certain TV shows and comic books, and it's old. This era, I don't even know what we're gonna call this era of digital journalism, this like 2014 to 2022. When you had activists pretending to be journalists and, dragging, and I'm going to say they started there's a culture war, they started it because they started dragging pop culture into conversations where it did not belong, and they started making everything weirdly political.
And then they got into these higher up positions and then started demanding that the studios make this shit to begin with, which did not go over well. I'm not saying that Captain Marvel in particular, but just in general.
Yeah, so they basically controlled the narrative, for years, and fans were demonized, and a lot of people were being, gaslit. It was a mess, right? People are going to look back on this era, and you're going to be able to tell articles from this era just by the headlines. Be like, oh, look, the alt-right bigots are mad again. Oh, my God, the gamers are angry.
It's misogynist, trolls,
the misogynists,
racist,
the trolls, the alt-right.
You know what's funny? I remember in the 90s, there was a lot of movies that had black leads because a lot of the action stars were not white. Yeah. And you know what? If a movie came out and it sucked, you were allowed to say so, and it didn't make you a racist.
No, a lot of people, hey, Spawn came out, and they're like, hey, it wasn't very good. I paid to go see Spawn. And I'm man enough to admit it was not a good movie.
Right, but I'm saying...
Blade was damn good.
But see, you were allowed to say that then. Yeah. And it didn't make you a terrible person for, saying something sucked that happened to have a lead in it that wasn't a white person.
And weirdly enough, they were standing for the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl, but they were pitting her against the Latina actress.
Right. The media was doing that. Yeah, they had Captain Marvel. And then you had a win for women. 2 strong female-led tentpole movies that everybody wanted. That was like the dream. That was what was in theaters. That was a win. And no. The media proceeded to, try to pit them against each other, pit the audiences against each other. But it was a win. It would have been a win. If that's what you claimed you wanted, you got it.
I think the sale of Twitter was officially the end of this. I think that basically Twitter was ground zero for all of this nonsense.
Psycho behavior.
And Musk, love him or hate him, he tossed a hand grenade into this ecosystem.
Oh, he does it every day. Oh, look, I'm Republican now. Boom.
Yeah, oh my God, but you're making green cars? How's that?
But you have to pay, which we want green cars for the environment. Oh no, but you have to pay for your checkbox. Boom. It's like one grenade after another.
I love it. If I had that kind of money, I'd
You don't like his choices always, but
I don't like his choices.
You like the chaos.
I like the chaos, and I said that before.
You're like the Loki of you two.
I am. I'm like, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with everything he's doing with Twitter right now, but by God, I love that they don't have it anymore. That's where I'm at with it, and I think that him buying Twitter signaled the end of that kind of bullshit, fake journalism. And
I think that the fact that they ran out of money.
And they ran out of money because they were propped up. So it was a 1-2 punch.
Can we get to this point of this?
Let's get to the point of this. So now we've got outlets like CBR that 4 years ago would have been dunking on the chuds.
That's okay. Tomorrow they'll have an article dunking on chuds too.
Probably. They've got multiple writers. So this is one writer's opinion. But I've seen more and more articles like this, more based articles.
I've been seeing a lot more, not just in CBR, other places as well. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you're never going to see it from the Mary Sue, but these other sites want to actually survive. So they're probably like, yeah, this is where most people are at. So now it's okay to criticize Captain Marvel. And you know what? I have a feeling that when the Marvels comes out, if the movie is not very good, you will actually see some legitimate hot takes on how bad the movie was. And it'll be like, yeah, you can say the movie sucks without being called an alt-right bigot or a literal Nazi. You know, for not liking a fucking movie. What kind of bizarro world do we live in where if you don't like a movie or a comic book, you are a literal Nazi?
I know, right?
I mean, seriously. All right. The MCU hasn't shown Captain Marvel's weaknesses yet, and that's a mistake. They couldn't. They weren't allowed to. I'm telling you, there's probably somebody at Disney. It's like, we can't show her being weak.
Oh, hire further, faster.
Hire further, faster, right? It's her story. She's a hero.
Right. So basically, we're talking about how in the books she has to absorb energy and redirect them and all that stuff, so if she uses it too long, she can be weakened. In the movies, you never see that. You just saw that, she had a limiter on, and suddenly she absorbed all this power, and she's all powerful, and she's always powerful. And every time you see her, she's kicking ass and taking names. You never see her power down
until she got flicked like a booger by Thanos.
But even then, they still tried to make it a win.
Yeah, they just like flicked her out of the movie, and then she didn't show up until Tony's funeral. Spoiler. So they didn't, and maybe they'll actually make her weak, right? She's taking incredible hits. Yeah, they had her going up against Thanos. Carol's been most powerful for some time in the fight against Thanos. She could keep him from snapping his fingers, and his hits did nothing to her. But even after that, she absorbed hits and allowed her to fly through his ship. She was limitless in her powers. The only thing that held even a remote chance of stopping her was the Power Stone, which was destroyed.
Or when he flicked her.
And the MCU needs to define Captain Marvel's limits.
I agree that they don't have her having limits, and that's not, realistic.
Yeah, they said another issue with absolute power could be the risk of corruption. People keep bringing up Civil War 2.
I love this. In the case of Carol, she's a good person through and through. Yeah, I totally got that when she mugged the guy.
I know, right?
Because he told her, what did he tell her? Smile or something? Yeah. So she mugged him. Yeah, I totally got she's a good person through and through,
Well, they talked about Civil War 2, where she basically was, like, doing pre-crime. She was, like, putting people on trial for things they hadn't done yet.
But through and through my ass.
Yeah. And it was horrible. They said that Civil War 2 made her, like, the most unlikable character. And the thing is Carol Danvers has been around for a long time, and she was a good character back in the day. My favorite story arc is when she got knocked unconscious and Rogue took her powers. That's my favorite story arc, and she just kind of stayed down for the count for most of the time. I read comics when I was a kid, but no, I'm just saying, like, there are things that could be done with her that can make her a much more interesting character. But when a character doesn't have limits, they are boring as hell because there are no stakes. Superman even has kryptonite,
right?
And you could argue that Superman's feelings for his human family are also a weakness for him that can be exploited because, villains can, if they can't beat him, they can threaten his wife, threaten his parents, threaten, Jimmy Olsen, whatever. Instead, in the comics, they're like, hey, we'll just, get some kryptonite, rape him. I mean, what the hell? The hell? You're
really hung up on that, aren't you?
Yeah, well, who thought that was a good idea?
I don't remember who wrote it, but those people did.
Who thought that was a good idea? Like, hey, you know what hasn't been done with Superman yet? Of all the things we could do with Superman, it'd be really cool and just totally break him. Yeah, let's do that. Let's publish that in DC Comics.
Well, they've been publishing a lot of shit in comics lately.
No, I think this is a good sign that they're starting.
It's a valid point too.
Starting to ask questions, and some people have been kind of like, hey, maybe Luke Skywalker wasn't handled terribly well in The Last Jedi. Not that it's a bad movie. Not that, Rose Tico's still a good character, but gosh, maybe she wasn't developed as well as she could have been. Can I say that now? Yeah, you're allowed to say it. You're a
coward because you didn't say it till now.
You're allowed to say it now because people like us took the hits for you for years. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Now you can say whatever the hell you want.
I'm distracted by Sylvester Stallone having his own reality show with all his daughters. It was a pop-up ad in the bottom of the thing. It was like he was Family Stallone or something. And he's got a lot of pretty daughters.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either, but now I do.
I want to watch that one with William Shatner and the celebrities on fake Mars.
Oh, yeah, that looks funny.
You know, they need to have Elon Musk on that one. See, because he's all about the space stuff. But yeah, it looks pretty funny. It looks like that one movie with that guy that everybody forgot about, where he went to Mars.
Oh, Rocket Man?
Yeah, that movie with that guy. I forget who that guy was.
Julie. It was Harlan something.
I don't remember. Wasn't he the guy from McHale's Navy too?
Yeah, I think so.
And that was another movie everybody forgot existed till now. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. I think.
Yeah.
It's way past.
It's a holiday. I don't want to talk anymore.
Look, I'm just saying.
Especially about Captain Marvel.
I'm just saying we're gonna start seeing a lot of opinions that were taboo just a couple of years ago.
Got threads over.
And eventually people are gonna be like, oh yeah, God, maybe the Star Wars sequels weren't that great. Maybe the Galactic Star Cruiser wasn't that good. Maybe Disney's mismanaging Star Wars.
The ones that got like media access, they were all like, oh my God, it's amazing, it's amazing. And now they're like, yeah, we wouldn't have bought it ourselves.
Well,
I'm like, really?
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye. Sorry, I yelled loudly.
That's okay. I got the limiter on.
Okay. So
you can tell my
kick setting.
Yeah, you can
Wait,
tell.
really? It automatically limits it when I yell?
It does. When the pitch gets too high, it does. Sometimes if you sound like all robotic, it's because it's bringing the decibels down.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.